Warning! This video contains my opinions. You have been warned. So, as you can see, this is a picture of Sonny. If you may have guessed it or seen the title of this video, Sonny's Second Chance is the next episode that aired in Canada. Before, because, they aired the first 8, and then they had a little bit of a break. And then I said to my friend who had seen all the episodes, and I said, is there any others I should look forward to? Because I think I said this in an earlier review of the first 8, that I think all the good ones today are, like, Great Little Railway Show, Thomas's Fuzzy Friend, and of course, Thomas and the Royal Engine. So, this episode, my friend said Sonny's Second Chance, and he was right. This is a great episode. It is fantastic, and it's written by Becky Overton, who also wrote Thomas's Fuzzy Friend, so she wrote 2 of the season's best episodes, so she deserves a major pat on the back for that. So, Sonny's Second Chance is about Sonny, and it reminded me of the Thomas Creator Collective, the first episode, Secrets of the Stolen Crown. So Sonny is, they even say, Percy says in that episode, once a thief, always a thief, about Skiff, and then Gordon says in this episode, once a thief, always a thief, about Sonny. So the plot is that Gordon says, there's a thief on this railway, and then Percy says, a thief, and then Thomas says, a thief, and then Gordon says, Sonny, and then Thomas says, oh, Sonny might have been a thief before, but now he's changed. And even James isn't happy with Sonny and just thinks Sonny's a thief, even though Sonny saves him from watermelons falling. And this video does contain spoilers, so warning, this video contains spoilers. You have been warned. So, Sonny, gets to Diesel, and Diesel, makes Sonny do his work for him. And there's this one part where, Percy says, oh, Diesel, why haven't you given me these cars? And then Diesel says, oh, I'm not taking them, Sonny is. And then there's this one part where Percy says, I just don't understand you sometimes. Nobody does. And then Sonny sees that Diesel was lying, and then Sonny saves Diesel. Yeah. And then he gets to stay on the railway. So this was a great episode. One of the things I love about it is that Diesel was in character. He was lying, being mean. He was, in character, so that's great. And, Sonny was really good. I like Sonny. This episode was on a whole quite great. 8 out of 10. Now we're on to the next episode. The Inventors' Spectacular Bridge, written by David Stoughton. So, as you can see, if you're wondering about the blue lines and the black lines and the red lines, it's an homage to the Great Race. As you saw in the Sonny drawing, the blue marker started to run out, so that's why I didn't color it all blue. So here's Toby, and one of the best things about the Inventors' Spectacular Bridge is that Toby appears. I liked this episode a lot. It was quite good. So the plot is that Toby is crossing, I think it's the bridge from the episode way back in season 6, Toby has a little lamb. And then, he says, that bridge gives me the heebie-jeebies. Then the bridge collapses as soon as he, goes past it, and then Harold tells him not to cross because the bridge isn't there. And then Thomas wants Ruth to invent a new bridge. And he says, inventing is like a walk in the park for her. And then she invents a walking bridge to take Toby and Henrietta across the bridge. And I like this episode. It was really nice to see Toby and to see him get more screen time. It's so amazing to see Toby get a significant amount of screen time. But one problem is the bridge is really small, so only an engine and a coach can fit. So what if Thomas wants to take Annie and Clarabelle? So it's not so much with the story, it's more with the bridge. Clarabelle wouldn't fit, and if Percy wanted to take his goods train, all his trucks wouldn't fit, and then if Gordon gets diverted onto the branch line, how would he fit? But anyways, a good episode, 7.5 out of 10. Kenji on the rails again. This episode was bad. I'll try to say some good things about it because there's only really one good thing I can think of. So this episode, Kenji has no personality. So this episode is about Ruth fits Kenji with an electric battery so he can move on his own without the pantograph. And Kenji has to go back to Japan, and he doesn't want to go back alone. He thinks Thomas is going back with him. But he came to Sodor alone. The only good thing I can think of this episode is at least Hiro gets a proper send-off. So Hiro randomly shows up and Thomas is like, "Oh, I thought you were Kenji." It's just like random, and it's like he's like, "I will go back to Japan with you, Kenji." And then he's just random. He just randomly shows up and literally leaves. It's like, and that's the only good thing about it is he gets a send-off, but it's like, why is Kenji hiding and just being afraid to go back, and he's hiding everywhere and from Thomas, and even though he came to Sodor alone from Japan, which is kind of weird. I give it a few points for Hiro, but other than that, no points, so 3 out of 10. James the Super Engine. So this episode, so right there it says, "Someone's in trouble!" So there's James, and I did it up like a comic book. I actually used the Railway series illustrations of James for inspiration and to base it off of, not so much, well, not for that one, obviously, but for that one, because it's a book. That one, obviously, the episode. So it's about James. He sees Sir Tom has grandchildren reading a comic book, and they're cheering. And then he says, "Oh, thank you, thank you." And then Rebecca says, "They're not cheering for you, James. They're cheering at the new comic book." And then James wants to be a superhero for the glory and to save people and all that stuff. I think for the glory, just knowing his character. That's why I said that, just to clarify. But yeah, he wants to be a superhero. So he goes around looking, and he gets this paint splatter on his eyes, which looks like a mask. And he looks, and there's the comedy in this episode is spot on. There's this one part where he's like, "Someone's in trouble," and then he sees, and it's just a goat bell ringing, and he's like, "That's an alarm bell," and it's just a goat. That part gets me laughing every time. It was a good episode. So then it's good episode. My only nitpick is that well, actually, 2 nitpicks. One, it's a bit random, but it works, and it's a great episode. And then 2, I really wish, because Edward and Toby have barely appeared this season, along with Henry, of course. And usually they don't have Edward and Toby's voice actor in the cast, because he doesn't voice a member of the STEAM team, anymore. But in this, they have William Hope as Rocky. But come on, you have him as Rocky. Why not throw in Edward or Toby or both when James is looking for someone to save? That would have made it so much better. But on a whole, this episode was great. 7 out of 10. So, thanks for watching.